400 million miles from where you're sitting, there's a moon smaller than our own, hiding more liquid water than every ocean on Earth combined. It's called Europa, and from the outside it looks like a cracked, frozen cue ball orbiting Jupiter. Dead, frozen solid, nothing going on. Except scientists are now almost certain that underneath that ice there's a vast, dark, salty ocean, sealed away from sunlight for possibly billions of years. And right now, a spacecraft is racing across the solar system to find out if something might be living in it. Stick around, because this isn't science fiction. Why is NASA spending over $1 billion to check if this moon has alien life? Let's start with the basics. Europa is one of Jupiter's 4 largest moons, discovered by Galileo Galilei all the way back in 1610. It's a little smaller than our own moon, and at first glance, it looks almost unbelievably boring. A smooth, cracked ball of ice. But here's the thing that should be impossible. Europa sits nearly 5 times farther from the Sun than Earth does. Out there, temperatures on the surface hover around -260 degrees Fahrenheit, cold enough to freeze literally everything solid instantly forever. So how could there possibly be liquid water hiding underneath? The answer isn't the Sun, it's Jupiter itself. Europa is locked in a gravitational tug-of-war with Jupiter and 2 neighboring moons, Io and Ganymede, in a rhythmic pattern called orbital resonance. Every time Europa swings around Jupiter, that immense gravity stretches and squeezes it, like squeezing a stress ball over and over again. That constant flexing creates friction, and friction creates heat. Enough heat, scientists now believe, to keep an entire ocean liquid underneath dozens of kilometers of solid ice. Now, you can't exactly send a submarine to check. So how do we actually know there's an ocean down there? The first big clue came from NASA's Galileo spacecraft, which orbited Jupiter throughout the 1990s and early 2000s. Galileo carried a magnetometer, an instrument that measures magnetic fields, and when it flew past Europa, it detected something strange. An induced magnetic field, one that seemed to be generated by the moon itself, in response to Jupiter's own powerful magnetic field. The only way to create that kind of response is with a global layer of something highly electrically conductive. And salty liquid water fits perfectly. It was like waving a magnet near a moon and getting an echo back. An echo that could only come from a hidden ocean of salt water sloshing around inside it. Then came more clues. The Hubble Space Telescope spotted what looked like plumes of water vapor erupting from Europa's south pole. First in 2012, and again in 2016, very similar to geysers seen shooting out of Saturn's icy moon Enceladus. And the surface itself is covered in long reddish-brown cracks and strange jumbled regions nicknamed chaos terrain, which look exactly like what you'd expect if a solid ice shell were floating and shifting on top of liquid water underneath. Every piece of evidence points the same direction. This isn't a frozen rock. It's an ice-covered ocean world. So just how much water are we talking about? Current estimates suggest something staggering. Europa's hidden ocean holds somewhere around 2 to 3 times more liquid water than all of Earth's oceans put together. And that's on a moon roughly 1/4 the diameter of our own planet. The ice shell on top is thought to be somewhere between 10 and 15 miles thick. Thick enough that no spacecraft is drilling through it anytime soon. Below that, the ocean itself may run 60 miles deep or more, sitting on top of a rocky seafloor. And that rocky seafloor might be the most important detail of all. Scientists suspect that same tidal flexing that keeps the ocean liquid could also be powering hydrothermal vents down at the bottom. Cracks in the rock, spewing out heat and chemicals, not unlike the vents found deep in Earth's own oceans. On Earth, similar hydrothermal vents are home to entire ecosystems that survive without a single ray of sunlight. Worms, shrimp, bacteria, all thriving purely off chemical energy from the Earth's interior. If Europa has the same setup, that means it might have liquid water, a source of energy, and the basic ingredients for life. This is where the story stops being purely theoretical. On October 14, 2024, NASA launched a spacecraft called Europa Clipper. The largest spacecraft NASA has ever built for a planetary mission, specifically to answer these questions. Europa Clipper isn't looking for life directly. Its job is more specific, to figure out if Europa could support life at all. It'll measure the exact thickness of the ice shell and sample the chemistry of that hidden ocean using specialized instruments. Instruments that can detect materials on the surface that came from below, while mapping the moon's geology in incredible detail. The spacecraft is currently making its way across the solar system using gravity assists, slingshotting off planets to build up speed. It swings back past Earth in December of 2026 for one final boost. And then it's on a straight shot to Jupiter, arriving in April of 2030. Once it gets there, it won't orbit Europa directly, since Jupiter's radiation would fry its electronics too quickly. Instead, it'll loop around Jupiter itself and dive in close for 49 separate flybys of Europa. Here's the bigger picture. For decades, when people imagined finding alien life, they pictured distant planets around other stars, hoping for a signal, hoping for a radio wave. Europa flips that idea completely. If life exists on Europa, it wouldn't be little green men. It would almost certainly be something microbial, something simple, thriving in total darkness near a hydrothermal vent, far from any star's light. But finding even the simplest single-celled organism on another world would be one of the biggest discoveries in human history. Because it would prove that life isn't a one-time fluke that only happened on Earth. And Europa isn't even alone in this. Saturn's moon Enceladus has a very similar hidden ocean, and so, likely, does Ganymede. Scientists are increasingly realizing that hidden oceans locked away under ice might be one of the most common places for water in the universe. Which means the water you're drinking right now, sitting on the surface in plain sight, under an open sky, in the grand scheme of the cosmos, that might actually be the unusual one. So, let's recap. Hundreds of millions of miles away, a small icy moon is hiding an ocean bigger than all of Earth's combined. If you learned something new today, hit like and subscribe. See you next time.